Okay. All right. What's up? All right. Want to get right into it. Don't want to waste no time. February the 2nd. I mean, so many twos. February 22nd, 2020. 2020. So that's a lot of twos. A lot of twos. Whole lot of twos. Duality. Ooh, higher self, lower self. However you want, inside, outside. However you want to look at it, it's all the same. What Bilal say, it's all matter. So matter is what we are, our physical body, but we're the spark inside the body. We're not these bodies. We can just control these bodies. All right, slow it down, rewind it. You should be able to understand it. It's not it's not complicated. I try to make everything as simple as possible, not just for you but for myself, so I can expand on everything. Okay, now, man, I was like signs be coming to me, man, like at a rapid pace, sometimes. So I was like, what was it, yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. So yesterday, I'm not gonna give a date, but yesterday, this is a few days before February 22nd. So I'm gonna say on that day I was doing some stuff, you know, spiritual stuff, and next thing I know, I was playing some music while I was doing that, and next thing I know, something told me to watch something, and I watched this interview um, of Aaliyah's brother. Um, can't remember his first name. His last name is Harden because her last name is Harden too. Uh, Peace to the Harden family. No disrespect at all. It's just information. Okay. All right. Okay. The information. When I seen the thumbnail for the video, it had um, it had something pertaining to me on the thumbnail. I was like, okay, that's a sign. Go ahead and check it out. So I check it out, right? I'm eating whatever and doing my spiritual thing. So next thing I know, I'm watching it, and I was like, and the movie itself, like they were speaking on the movie and how it was a few months after she had passed, Aaliyah Hutton. Um, so next thing I know, it's come to find out the movie comes out in February. I'm like, okay, movie came out in February. I'm like, it's crazy. It's February now. You know, that's crazy. And next thing I know, I'm like, yeah, and I said February, and they said it was, at the time I think it was like I don't know if it was 18th or something, or the 19th at the time when it was recorded on the two on in 2002, which is very surreal for me. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm gonna keep it going. Um, so 2002 in February, and I was like, and he said that the movie opens this weekend, and I was like, okay, I'm like, to me, I'm like, something was telling me. I said, well, I know what was telling me, and he said, I was like, why don't you go check out the date when the movie came out? The movie I'm talking about is Queen of the Damned. She played the character Akasha, but in my last uh, video or two videos prior to this one that's coming out, Akasha, they put her in the form of an Egyptian or a Kemetan queen, a vampire queen. So melanin is like the vampire. When you they say when you marry black, or when you have sex with a melanated or so-called black person, that DNA, that melanin, is like a vampire, because once it takes over your side of the family, or it gets acquainted with your side of the family, your DNA will, like, damn near, it has some relevance, but it's pretty much wiped out. So that's what the whole vampire thing with Akasha, Akash, Kash means the blackening stage. So you got to think, when she killed her husband, when they were statues, she had cut his throat when she had woke up. Um, she sliced his throat with her hands, and killed him as he was still a statue, because he didn't want to go across the lands and continue to gain power, or gain power across the world. So, and then she saw Lestat, and so, wow, why when I said that another ambulance just came around? Can you hear? All right, that's power. That's what you call power. Anyway, so Lestat, he's a white person or a Caucasian, Caucasus Mountains. Keep it going. All right, so next thing I know, yeah, it's weird. Also, she was in 2 movies, uh, with Romeo Must Die with Jet Li and Asian, and also in Queen of the Damned, where it was Lestat, a Caucasian or a white person. So I was like, wow, what I'm saying? I know what they do, in Hollywood. They have to bring that on in order to sway the minds to show it's not that bad going outside of your race. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they usually do. So just showing for the people, the people in the public to go outside of their race. So where I'm trying to make sure I don't lose myself, so y'all can stay right next to my side, so we won't get lost. We can stay together through this whole process. Okay, where was I? I was at the point of okay when she got with the stat. So remember when she said, "Here, drink of my blood," and she let him taste some of her blood, and that's like uh, him getting some of her melanin. Because remember, he was able to walk in the sun after he like, oh, I can't. She opened opened the windows of the blinds or something. He said, no, look, it's fine. You can go outside. Because like they have a real sensitive problem with their eyes. White people or Caucasian people, they have a sensitive thing with their eyes, their skin, everything until because they don't have any souls. Because everybody has melanin, but they don't have any souls. So the thing is, when they don't have a soul, they don't come back. So they want to put themselves. When you see a lot of people outside of the melanated or so-called black or so-called African American people, they get what a lot of people, our melanated people get what other people outside of our race. What that does is they want to put themselves in the future. So if it's a part of their genes that melanin can latch on to theirs, and it's like they live on. So they can't live on without a soul. So now they have a part of a soul now. Okay, so stick with me. I'm gonna keep it going. All right. Come to find out, back to the interview with Aaliyah's brother on that, I think it was a CBS morning show. Next thing I know, I check it out. I looked up on Google. You can look it up to yourself. Google, and found out that I looked at the date. I said release date for Queen of the Damned, and it was released. You'll never guess, but you should know now. February the 22nd, 2002. Now that's 2002. Now that's Balance of Ma'at. So it was a song, More Than a Woman by Aaliyah, and she said, no scale can measure. I can hear my head. She said, no scale can measure secret and treasure. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear it like, and she actually shot that video before Rock the Boat. But then Rock the Boat was the last video, before she left her physical body. So she said, um, no scale can measure. That's my art. My art is the balancing of the scales or whatever. So balancing of the scales. It's crazy because they said Kasha was the first vampire, and Ma'at, she's one of the first deities in the Kemetan or Egyptian pantheon. One of the first, and that's crazy. And Akasha is the muse, or inside the mind. Melanin is associated with music, and she was a musician playing that part of the role. So they know what they're doing with these things. So I'm not. I feel like she knew what she was doing too, and and I remember I have the DVD, and she was saying when she was growing up, she said she always loved Egyptian art and statues. You know, she always, I think she said she had some. If you watch you have the, I'm not sure if it's a special edition or not, but she's actually talking. You can see her saying these things from her own mouth, her own. You can see her, not just her voice speaking. She said she actually grew up love Egyptian art and architecture and pictures or art in general, and so we don't sometimes we don't give the muse that credit sometimes. What if she knew could have been transpiring, and she knew the power of what it could come. So if they put out the movie, so everything that comes out in Hollywood is, it has to be done on a Pacific time, whatever. Pacific company has to put it out. Everything has to be just right for them. So let me get back to what am I going to lose myself? Am I going to lose you? So I'm going to get right back to it. AALIYAH, the movie Queen of the Damned. If you watch it even more, you can just watch the movie again. And just some things will just stick out to you. But the movie was released February 22nd, 2002. Now, fast forward to now, the present time in 2020. And February the 22nd is right around the corner in a few days. So she sent me that info. She said, okay, that information. Well, I'll just say this. I'll just leave it at this. The information was, it was sent, and I took heed to it. When I took heed, I come to find, if I didn't take heed, I would not have known. So February 22nd, 2020 is 18 years since the release of Queen of the Damned. That's incredible. The exact date. And so the video before this one, 1212, 144,000 light bringers will bring it in. Okay. Crazy thing is, now I think about it, I'm like, I have a video I'm about to put out before this one. And on that same day, Erykah Badu's having her birthday party. But her birthday is actually a few days later the next week, which is kind of crazy. And the Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury Part 2 fight will be taking place, which I found out. Everything happens for a reason. And I did not watch sports or anything, or TV or anything, and I found out. And I was like, and I found out about the AALIYAH Queen of the Damned movie later on that day. And it just made whole hell of a lot of sense. I said that's the way to take energy. And also on that same day, this year it's been a powerful year already. Already it's been a powerful year. And it's only February. And next thing is it's gonna be a new moon on that exact day. A brand new moon. When you see a start of a moon, sometimes it might be too cloudy so you can't see it. You on a new moon, you can't see anything. It's no trace of a moon, but it's new. So it's like it's starting. And so it's been blocked, but that means that whatever is coming in, it's just like they say in Hindu mythology, when you ejaculate, I know it just went all the way right field from what I was talking about, but it's gonna correlate and it's gonna resonate if you look it up too. Also, we'll say like if you say if you lose the fluid, or like males, if you lose the fluid, I used to call it giving up the ghost, and not knowing what it meant when I was saying it, because giving up the ghost is your actual thoughts in your mind. Those are actual thought forms. Ghost or thought forms. So think about it, it's the same shit. Not knowing what I was saying years prior. So but anyway, we get right to it. So when you ejaculate and lose that fluid, you actually you have to supposed to wait 2 more weeks for you to fill back up. Just like the moon, it takes a full month for it's supposed to be 28 days, just like the woman's cycle. But 2 weeks, I found out reading in this book, it takes 2 weeks for you to fill back up. That's just the fluid inside your mind. And when you fill back up, the 2 weeks is like half of a month. So that's when the moon is full itself, and then it goes back out. So that's 2 weeks and then 2 weeks. So it's the same thing. Anyway, it's just something told me to say it. and it come right out, literally. But I don't ejaculate. So you know what I mean. I just have like orgasms, or I just leave everything inside. So when you have orgasms, it goes down and it comes right back up to the top. And secret, here it goes. That's how you become a deity yourself. Oops, dropped another bomb. Anyway, atomic bomb at that. So yeah, when you're able to hold your fluids and not lose it, so when you been able to do it, you can have an orgasm without when it's nothing come out white. That means you didn't lose anything from your mind or your brain fluid. You didn't lose anything from your mind. But when it comes out clear, it's just because your scrotum has clear liquid that holds inside. Ooh, they don't really try to tell us this in school like this. This clear liquid holds the white fluid that comes from your mind. It goes down your spine. That's why your spine is connected to your penis and your testicles, because that's why you get hard. You get hard just like the bones in your spine. Only when it attracts you, a woman attracts you, and when she attracts you, you get turned on. It's like you turned on from your mind. It's like, I like what I see, something physical. So when it gets turned on, it makes it easier for the fluid to come out and to go inside of the woman. Okay, in a vagina. Oh, we call the pussy. But anyway, so if you don't, and plus, if you don't come, you just making yourself stronger. But yeah, I wanted to say that about that. On February 22nd, 2020. It's a lot of twos involved. That's the balancing of my aunt. 2020. Twos and zeros. So right in between the two, you see 11 is the same thing, or 10 or whatever it may be. You know, two of the same number touching each other or right up against each other. That's what the odd is, balancing of it. So with me saying that, she was like Tayamat, or Tayamat. You can find it in the so it's funny because Iraq and America have been going at it, but like Sumerian mythology, Tiamat, you can find just like Marduk. Marduk, I don't even, I have this. I'm only saying it because I'm on the video. Marduk is her son, and he tore out of her side in order to become something from her, but not as much power as her. But she was still able to. You have to read the story, but I really don't say that name at all, and so I will not say that no more in this video. So you just know what I'm talking about when you go research it. So, but anyway, you can research the story and it'll make sense. Tiamat, Ma'at, all of that, so it all equates, and it's great that she was able to uh, be casted in a movie dealing with Kemetic or Egyptian regalia, was something she loved when she was younger too, also. And another thing, she was 22 years old when she left her physical body. So, and it's a lot of twos. February 22nd, when it was dropped in America, and it was dropped in other places after that. So February 22nd, 2002, when it was dropped, she was 22 when she passed in a plane crash. Oh yeah, and I got that sucker too. And that sucker, I'm not even gonna say your name. You trying to get in where you fit in. I'm not even gonna speak on it. You know what I mean? But I'll get into it. You know what I mean? I got time for you. I can make a little 1919. I just looked down and saw that. 1919. I make time for you, sucker. Well, you don't know who I'm talking about, but you will find out very soon. The power is with me. I am the ancestors. The ancestors are around me, and the ancestors are inside me. But I got you. I got a couple people lined up. I don't gotta. I got you. I'll just say that I got you. Anyway, so now, it's on February 22nd, 2020. Do whatever you do, your rituals, whatever you do, your libations. Hold your energy. Don't give it away. because you got these motherfuckers out here ready to take energy. All right, about to end this video. I didn't know it was gonna be this long, but when it just comes, it comes, and I wanted to get everything out. So it was just telling me to make this video before that time comes. Okay, 2020. That's it. I say.